Ghana Limited SML Ghana Revenue Authority GRA contract. We'll bring you details of that and more. Meanwhile, SML has dragged the OSP to shroud, claiming bias, abuse of power, and constitutional rights violation. Also on the bulletin, Interior Ministry launches gun amnesty program calling for voluntary surrender of illicit weapons amid surge in gun-related crime in the country. Well, we have details of these and more for you locked up right here on Hot Edition with me, Michael Ogbodu. My colleague Laud Asare brings us updates around the country over the last couple of hours. Lord, what do you have for us?
Thank you, Michael. Let's go straight to the news summaries. And former Finance Minister Kenneth Nanaya Oforiatta, Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited, SML, and 6 others have been charged with 78 counts of offences for alleged procurement breaches and causing financial loss to the state to the tune of 1.4 billion Ghana cedis. Also, President John Dramani Mahama has reaffirmed his commitment to what he described as Ghana's long-standing family and moral values, insisting that gender is determined at birth and that the family remains the foundation of the nation. Elsewhere, the police has arrested the man seen in a viral video assaulting a woman said to be his wife at Ofankor in Greater Accra. A neighbor who had witnessed the incident reportedly captured it on video and shared it on social media. According to the person who recorded the video, he described the man as a landlord who was always beating his wife. And then we go elsewhere, where 16 people were rescued today after a head-on collision between a Ford Transit and a Kia Rhino at Nyamibetre on the Sunyani-Kumase Highway. The accident occurred at about 5:30 a.m. and prompted a swift response from firefighters at the Bechem Fire Station. And that's it for the news summaries. Michael.
Thank you so much, Lord Asare. They're bringing us news summaries across the country over the last couple of hours. But if you just tuned in, this is Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. We'll bring you more shortly. Stay tuned. Well, this is Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7 with me, Michael Ogbodu. Now, straight into our top story, and the Office of the Special Prosecutor has filed 78 charges against former Finance Minister Ken Oforiatta, former GRA Commissioner Asiedu-Dartey Amwa, SML Chief Executive Asiedu-Dartey, and 4 others over their alleged roles in the controversial revenue assurance contracts between the Ghana Revenue Authority and Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited SML. The charges consist of conspiracy to commit the criminal offense of directly or indirectly influencing the procurement process to obtain an unfair advantage in the award of a procurement contract, corruption, and causing financial loss to the state. Other accused persons named in the charge sheet are former GRA Commissioner Emmanuel Kofinti, senior GRA officials Isaac Krenzel and Kwejo Damwa, a former technical advisor at the Ministry of Finance, Ernest Akore, and SML as an entity. Well, joining me in studio is my colleague again, Laud Asare, to bring us more on this particular issue. Well, finally, Ken Oforiatta and SML have been charged, haven't they?
They have, Michael, indeed. Ken Oforiatta and then 7 or 6 others, I should say. So the former GRA bosses, Asiedu-Dartey Amwa, and then another former GRA boss, senior officials from GRA, the SML boss, and then SML, the company itself, have been cited in this charge sheet filed by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Let me take you briefly through what the OSP has been saying concerning this, because I mean, if you add up to the figures that we're looking at, talking about excess of 1.4 billion cedis within the space, according to the OSP from the investigations, everything transpired from 2017 revolving all these persons. Now, it says here that these are the facts, okay? He says that the first accused was the Minister of Finance at all material times in relation to him. And then when it comes down, it says that the accused persons conspired to set up and did perform acts in furtherance of the conspiracy to set up a criminal enterprise of directly and indirectly influencing the procurement process to obtain unfair advantage for the eighth accused person. The eighth accused person is the company, which is the SML company. Now, it also says that the criminal enterprise was commenced in 2017 by the first, third, seventh, and eighth accused persons, with the other accused persons joining the adventure at various times. The criminal enterprise, according to the OSP, was characterized by no genuine need for contracting the eighth accused company for the obligations it purported to perform, and the contracts were secured for the eighth company through self-serving patronage, sponsorship, and promotion by the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth accused persons based on false and unverified claims. Now, it says that the actions of the first, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth accused persons created the opportunity for the eighth accused company to largely pretend to perform the services under the various contracts, leading to immense financial loss to the Republic of about 1.4 billion Ghana cedis, but the total of it is actually 1,436,249,828 cedis, 53 pesos. And they had they not been halted by the actions of three petitioners who lodged a complaint with the Office of the Special Prosecutor in December 2023 against the criminal enterprise, corruption and corruption-related investigations conducted by the OSP between December 2023 and 3rd October 2025, government intervention of temporarily suspending performance of the purported services in early January 2024, and a directive of the President for the termination of all public contracts awarded to the company by the Ministry of Finance and GRA. The accused persons intended that a further estimated $2,790,604,864 US be paid to the eighth accused person for a period of 5 years without the mandatory statutory prior authorization by Parliament.
Some very interesting issues there.
A lot of figures in there, but so you basically say that had the president not terminated this contract by the SML and GRA, they were going to lose a little over 2.8 billion cedis, in addition to the 1.4 that the OSP had already cited that they had lost per the alleged criminal enterprise by the accused persons stated herein, which is the former Finance Minister Kenneth Ofori-Atta, and then the former GRA bosses, and then the other accused persons as well. So we see how in the coming days this will pan out, because we're expecting the OSP to take them to court. We know for a fact that he's for the longest of time been trying to get the former Finance Minister Kenneth Ofori-Atta from outside the country, outside the jurisdiction. Well,
at least finally he's been charged. So we'll see how all of that pans out. And Laud is our man at the court. He'll be bringing us updates on this particular case as it goes through. Laud, thank you so much for your time. Joining us via phone is private legal practitioner Martin Pebu. Counsel, thank you so much for your time. You have consistently called on the OSP to finally charge Ken Ofori-Atta and the likes. Finally, it's been done. You must be happy.
Not exactly. I'm not happy. On the contrary, I'm extremely sad and I'm extremely upset that Kisi Ejabin allowed Ken Ofori-Atta to run out of this country, and today Kisi is presenting us with these charges. Too little, too late. There is a half-hearted attempt at a half-baked solution. I'm extremely upset. We are not kids, so Kisi has to be warned. We are not kids. You allow Ofori-Atta to go, and then today you say you are going to try trial in absentia. You know even how long it took us to fight for trial in absentia. We had to make a lot of noise from January till date. Look, I think this whole thing, Kisi should stop. They should just stop. Kisi should leave that office. Let's get new management. We can't trust Kisi anymore. You can't trust him because, look, the moment he allowed Ofori-Atta to go, now I'm not sure whether there are some loopholes he would deliberately create in there so that Ofori-Atta can escape, even in a trial in absentia. We can't trust Kisi. Look, the key thing we must discuss. Let's not come to these charges. The main thing we have to address is Kisi Ejabin allowed Ofori-Atta to get out of this country. We can't trust Kisi Ejabin. And once there's no trust, he cannot be a prosecutor. There's great prosecutorial misconduct. You are a special prosecutor. You tell us that you saw the letter Oforiatta wrote that he wants to leave this country. Then he says he went to NIB, he didn't get help. He went to National Security, he didn't get help. And so he was powerless. So he saw Oforiatta leave. How? There is collusion.
Council.
What happened to informing the people of Ghana as mandated by the Constitution? Kissi Ejabin is telling me that as a lawyer, he doesn't know that the people of Ghana are the owners of Ghana. We are the sovereign. The president of Ghana is not the sovereign, no. The sovereign is the people of Ghana. Too many places in the Constitution. If you check the preamble, you'll find it. If you check Article 1, you'll find, etc., etc.
Council, so let me bring you back. Let me bring you back to the issue. At least we now have charges against him. Some 78 or so of them, not just him, SML, GRA officials and former GRA officials and the likes have been charged. How far could this really go? And how long would we before we begin to see things happening in court?
No, you know what you do, Michael? Maybe you can interview another lawyer on the substantive, but every lawyer will tell you, a lawyer who does criminal cases will tell you that when there's prosecutorial misconduct, you have to address that first before you go into the trial. So we cannot sidestep the prosecutorial misconduct. You see your key suspect, the crown jewel, running out of Ghana, and you sit down, sit on your arms and let him go. And today, no, I can't, I don't have that mind. No,
fair point.
That's not how we do it. You ask any lawyer, because the moment you want to gloss over the harm Kissi has caused to the institution, the harm Kissi Ejabin has caused to the institution, you want to go to the substance, you are causing trouble. He has to first pay for what he has done. You need new management. If not, the trial will be tainted throughout. Let me come to point number 2. Do you know that as we speak now, SML has a petition against Kissi Ejabin as charged. So Kissi cannot be in office and prosecute this case. SML has a petition against Kissi Ejabin and Albert Akrugu. Albert Akrugu, the director of asset recovery, there's a petition against them as charged. It's on your website. All the radio stations, I mean, a number of them have done it. So it tells you that there is a big problem. Let's discuss the charge petition, its impact on this prosecution. We cannot gloss over. Kissi Ejabin has to leave that office with Alberto Akrugu, Sami Daku. These 3 people have to be out of that office. They are toxic. They are toxic to that office. These 3 guys have to get out of that office before we continue any prosecution. We cannot. You can't trust them. A team that allows Oforiatta to run out of Ghana, you can't trust them to do any good job. Please, don't try it. It tells you that that's just a tip of the iceberg. It's just God that saved us, that Kissi came and confessed that he saw it. And these are his right-hand men. These are his inner circle. And so they didn't give him any better advice. They agreed, and then Oforiatta left. Please, discuss the petition against Kissi Ejabin and Albert Akrugu as charged, its impact on the trial. This is what we call prosecutorial misconduct. So you have to deal with that first. Look, and let me tell you, when it comes to prosecutorial misconduct, you deal with that first before you come to the substance. The last time that happened, you remember Godfrey Dami in the Japa trial. So you see that eventually we had to stop. When Godfrey Dami was doing unethical things, like what Kissi Ejabin and Albert Akrugu are being accused of, you deal with that first. Don't go into, because such people, if you leave them, they are a danger to society. A prosecutor who is involved in prosecutorial misconduct is a danger to society. Those are the ones that will go against you even when there is no case, because they have personal interest in the cases, because they want to score personal points, because they have a vendetta, deliberate ploy to take the heat off Kissi Ejabin. So please don't concentrate on the charges. Concentrate on the prosecutorial misconduct.
All right.
I will not fall for this.
Counsel, but just for educational purposes, help us understand. We understand that amongst the charged persons, SML as an entity. How does that really work?
Yes, it's allowed. When the company is found guilty, they will pay a fine, because the company is not a human being. And when it's a fine, it's not a small amount. It depends on what is at stake, what has been lost. So if 200 million is lost, you expect that ordinarily, and the company has big assets, they are going to pay more than the 200 million that is lost. So when we say a fine, it's not 5,000 or 100,000 Ghana. It all depends on what is at stake. and the net worth of the company will pay.
All right, but counsel,
Yes,
looking at the charges against all the accused persons, how severe are these charges, and what could be the consequences?
No, like I said, I don't want to jump the gun. When a prosecutor misbehaves, no, we don't go there. So that's why I said maybe
counsel,
you can raise lawyer amount. Maybe if
you are educating us in this place. It's like you are denying us the opportunity to learn from you on this particular matter. How severe are the charges beyond the concerns you have about the case? How bad could it get?
Our law is that deal with the prosecutorial misconduct first. Let's not be in a hurry. So we are saying that the charges you find, Asiedu-Dartey, Albert Akrugu, Sami Daku, they should be nowhere near the OST. They should take them out first. As for the charges, then once we have new management, okay, these people, the other directors, no issue, they will stay. Then we can go on with this. Because right now, your prosecutor allows the crown jewel, Oforiatta, to run away, and you think the charges are all that. No. There is something more else. You can't try. After all, Asiedu-Dartey worked for Oforiatta. He worked for Oforiatta. Yes, his former client. He worked for Oforiatta. So how can you trust such a prosecutor? Please.
Fair point, counsel.
Let's not gloss over it.
Sure.
It's deliberate. But you see that now that the heat is on him, that he should leave the office, he has hurriedly brought this so that the conversation can shift to the substance so that he can escape. But you see, he's lying. He can't escape. He has to leave so that we will conduct our own investigations and do our own prosecution. But minus Asiedu-Dartey and the team, those other two persons have spoken about. There is a petition against them in Shraj. So they should just step aside. They should step aside. We can't trust them. Have you seen? Look, their petition is on your website. There's a story on it. Joy FM also has it. All the big media stations. You have stories on the prosecutorial misconduct case against Asiedu-Dartey and Albert Akrugu. So let's deal with that first. So that quickly they step aside so that we trust the system. Because once the accused have a case against your prosecutor, if you don't deal with that, no, it could come back to haunt us. Then before you discover, you see how Godfrey Dami misbehaved, and eventually we got nothing out of the Japa case. So that's the same thing. If we don't fix it, and we just rush, we are going to court, This prosecutorial misconduct, it will dog the case every step of the way. And then before you realize, the people will be free. So that's the key. I'm not joking. You have to deal with the prosecutorial misconduct first. Asiedu-Dartey has to be out of that office. He and Albert Akrugu, they should not. Akrugu used to work for GRA. He was the coordinator when West Blue was in charge. And SML came and replaced West Blue in circumstances that Albert Akrugu is not happy about. And so he says that he will teach them a lesson in this SML matter. When your prosecutor tells you that I have a personal interest in this case, master, don't play with it. Read the Shraj petition. That's what they've said against Albert. So Albert should go and clear himself first. Albert Akrugu should go and clear himself first. They say he told Cransell, I have a personal interest in this matter. Told the other one, I have a personal interest in this matter because he was on the side of West Blue, who were kicked out by SML. So let's solve that first. If not, it will taint the trial throughout.
Definitely,
every step of the way this case is called, as far as Asiedu-Dartey is in office, as far as Albert Akrugu is in office, as far as Sami Daku is in office, the case will be that, is this not the case that the prosecutor is threatened the accused person that have a personal interest in this case? Is this not the case that one of the prosecutors once worked for the accused person? Is this not the case that the chief prosecutor saw Oforiatta leaving the country and the chief prosecutor didn't do anything? He didn't do anything substantial to stop him. He was going to all the wrong places, deliberately going to all the wrong places, and then allowed Oforiatta to leave Ghana. So let's resolve that first.
Fair point, counsel. You have consistently called for the removal of the special prosecutor from office. Do you plan on filing a petition to that effect?
Oh, absolutely. We are working on it. And I'm very grateful to those who have reached out. Yeah, all the people who have dealt with the office and know a thing or two about how some of these things have gone. I'm very grateful. You know, a strong society thrives on people who speak up, people who would, want to sacrifice. Yes, so that we will expose these guys. You see what the Shraj petition is already saying about them. Your investigator, your prosecutor comes to tell you that I have a personal interest in this case. Hey, then that's a joke. How are you going to get a fair trial? So they are going to raise these matters all the way. So there's going to be too much. You see, the optics will be bad. What have you ever heard? Prosecutorial misconduct, it spoils the whole case. So take out that prosecutor. Take him off, far off from the case. He should not have anything to do. Because as long as the Asiedu-Dartey Albert are in there, every day this SML matter is mentioned, legal analysts such as us will be but the accused persons and the prosecutors have a grudge. And it's not just a contrived one. It was the prosecutor who started it by threatening them that I have a personal interest in this matter.
Sure.
I have a personal interest in this matter. If you have a personal interest in the matter, then get out.
Fair
Let
point.
somebody neutral come and supervise the matter.
Thank you, counsel.
He has supervised it. No.
At least,
read the petition, the Shraj petition against Asiedu-Dartey and Albert Akrugu. You see.
Okay.
You see more facts in it.
At least you've confirmed to us that we should be expecting a petition from you against the special prosecutor. How soon, though?
It's a lot of technical work. Let's see. But it's certainly coming. It's a lot of technical work.
It's certainly coming.
Because, you have to gather evidence. I'm now this is getting more insight from others who also want to, help shape this. This is the whole thing, because a lot of people have suffered this injustice.
Okay.
So, you have to listen and see how all those ones can help. Making up so that the petition will be the petition of petitions.
Okay.
Yeah, petition of petitions containing everything.
Interesting, counsel. Some have said that with your commitment towards the fight against corruption, you could make a fine OSP. Is there a job you would take up if the opportunity ever came?
Oh, I'm so good. You this one. Oh my God. It's hilarious because you see, I've never dreamt of it. Let's fight this current injustice. We want to sanitize the system. We can cross that bridge when we get there. Okay? Yes, in life we never say never. So I want to be very careful. But let's solve this problem now, because from what I've heard, lawyers are upset. The abuse of office in that OSP, the abuse of office. We have to sanitize the OSP. This is not what it was created for. That people will be abusing their offices and coming to, pull wool over our eyes. No, we want to sanitize the OSP. That office has to be sanitized. Currently, it is not fit for purpose. It is a crime scene.
All right, thank you so much. That was legal practitioner Martin Pebude sharing his thoughts on the OSP going to court finally with a case, charges against Ken Ofori-Atta, some former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, and some former GRA staff, as well as the CEO of SML and the company itself. There are some 78 charges leveled against these accused persons. But we also know that the Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited, SML, has escalated its conflict with the Office of the Special Prosecutor, formally filing a petition with the Commission of Human Rights and Administrative Justice, SHRAJ. The petition, dated November 12, 2025, accuses the OSP of bias, abuse of power, administrative injustice, and constitutional rights violations from the Special Prosecutor's recent report on SML's contracts with the Ghana Revenue Authority. SML is seeking a full inquiry under Article 128 of the Constitution. Specifically, the company wants SHRAJ to probe the conduct of the OSP's lead investigator, Mr. Albert Akrugu, alleging the entire process was compromised due to his personal history and animus against SML. Investigate the distraction and mishandling of digital evidence, including servers, which SML claims breached forensic standards and violated their property rights. Examine allegations of abuse of discretionary power, unlawful interference with their business operation, and the suppression of evidence. Determine possible conflict by the Special Prosecutor, Mr. Kisi Ajabing, in the alleged misconduct. SML has provided revenue assurance services to the GRA, defends its work by stating it led to fiscal recoveries exceeding 1.35 $1.5 million in the first 2 months of operation. The company claims it has been targeted by the OSP officials since then. The move marks a major counteraction by SML following the public release of the Special Prosecutor's investigative findings earlier this year. You're still listening to Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7 with me, Michael Ogbodu. We'll take a quick breather. We'll bring you more shortly. Stay tuned.
It's a new year and Bill's Microcredit is here to support your dreams.
Fun Day, hashtag FAMILAC 2025. A full day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag FAMILAC 2025. A full day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag FAMILAC 2025. A full day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention.
92.7 3FM. 92.7 3FM. 92.7 3FM.
And welcome back. If you just tuned in, this is Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7 with me, Michael Ogbodu. Now, Ghana is experiencing a sharp rise in armed robbery and murder cases linked to illicit weapons, prompting the Interior Ministry to launch a national gun amnesty for the first time since 2016. The 6 weeks exercise running from December 1, 2025 to January 15, 2026 allows holders of illegal firearms to surrender them without penalty. There's more in this report.
A surge in violent crime has pushed government to revive a national gun amnesty, the first in 9 years. Security figures showed 1,219 robbery cases and 552 murders recorded in 2024. And by July this year, police had already confirmed 628 armed robbery cases and 340 murders, all involving illicit weapons. Minister for the Interior, Muntaka Mohammed Mubarak, says the amnesty will run from December 1, 2025 to January 15, 2026. The program is expected to give the public a penalty-free window to surrender illegal firearms.
Every illicit firearm in circulation is a silent threat. It may lie hidden in a cupboard, under a bed, or buried in the bush, but at any moment it can destroy life and families forever. We cannot continue to bury our loved ones while the tool of violence remain unchecked. The statistics is not looking good at all.
He warns that anyone who refuses to surrender their illicit weapon after the deadline will be treated as a criminal.
When this amnesty period ends, the law will take its full course. The Ghana Police Service and all security agencies will intensify operations to recover illicit arms. Those who refuse this generous offer will be treated as criminals, and the consequences will be firm and uncompromising.
To support the exercise, district collection points will be set up nationwide. Also, whistleblowers and informants will be paid to report individuals holding illicit arms who fail to comply and return their weapons voluntarily. According to the Minister for the Interior, security mapping shows 77 hotspots in the Ashanti region and 88 in the Central region, many located in Galamsey site, where illegal weapons are most prevalent.
So that was a report by my colleague on basically the plan by government to introduce some level of amnesty with regards to the use of illegal weapons in the country. Martin, my colleague Martin Asiedu-Dartey joins us, your regular host of Hot Edition. Martin, thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us. What do you make of this? How do you feel about it?
I think the general concern about, gun violence has increased in the last few months, for which reason government thought that the strategy may have been missed, which is that people are acquiring guns. And if you compare Ghana to the United States, where gun acquisition is easier and a lot allowed, Ghana, we do not have that kind of system. So you are encouraged to, yes, acquire a gun. However, you need to register it and let the system know that Mr. A or Mrs. B have guns at home. Then it helps in knowing how many guns are available in the system. Then they can monitor. So in case there's a violence in a particular area, they can track or try and monitor and trace. But in the last few months, again, the big concern of what Galamsey has done has changed the narrative, where many more individuals seem to be acquiring or owning guns, and they are not registering it in the system. So, like you indicated, the last time this conversation was rife was around 2016. It was quite a national amnesty, encouraging people, if you do have a gun, bring it, let's register. Then we know that you do have a gun at home. But the conversations seem to have simmered, and people are not focusing on it that much. So it's good that this government has stoked the fire again, and it is also for the general safety of the citizen.
It'll be important to know what the plan is going forward, also to license some of these weapons, at least, like you're saying, to build the database and the like, so that we are sure of how much weapons are in the system, who has what. Hopefully, we hope that all of that to be addressed. But Martin, over to you.
Yes, certainly. So let's probably put that question you just raised to the PRO of the Small Arms Commission, Reverend Kalni Anyate Soa, who is the acting head of communications and media. Rev, a very good evening to you. Thank you for joining us on 3FM.
Good evening.
Right, so I'm sure the big question will be, what specific factors have contributed to the recent surge in gun acquisitions? And is it safe to say that that's the reason why armed robbery cases are also rising?
All right, so thank you very much. So there are many factors that are influencing the demand for firearms. Some may say they want it for self-protection. Others also want it to protect their properties and families. Some also may say that they need it because it shows class or for prestige. Some also say they want it for hunting. Now, there are three grounds on which the law may allow, after you go through the process, to acquire a firearm and have it licensed
And that is if you want it or if you need it for self-protection, protection of your property, and for hunting. But you bear with me that most of these firearms are sometimes used beyond the reasons for which they were actually acquired or for which they were actually licensed. So that is the bit I can say about the factors that affect or influence people's desire to have firearms. Now, I heard Adib talking about the galamsey and all that. Those are also factors that are influencing firearms because people want to protect their consignment. And, the law will not license a firearm to you to go and use it in langalism or to protect your illicit or illegal mining activities. And so such people would definitely acquire those firearms illegally. Yes.
Okay. Hold on for me. I have one more question to ask so you can give us clarity on why now and what's the end game. And are you getting that reception? Because we had heard a few weeks ago about this amnesty that government intends to roll out, and now it is formally announced that people should come and let the state know who has, and then register it accordingly. Kindly hold on for me. Let me bring in Richard Kumado, who is a fraud and security consultant. Mr. Kumado, thank you also for your time. I'm sure the big question many would ask is, can we easily attribute the recent concerns of security uncertainty in the country to people's desire to start acquiring arms? Is there any linkage? Hello, Mr. Kumado. We seem to have lost Mr. Kumado there, but we still have Reverend Kalni Anyatesowa with us. Rev, so the question I wanted to ask is, what kind of reception have you received since this announcement? I know it was it was actually today, but prior to that, we had seen some media interactions which started the encouragement of people to come and register these firearms.
Okay, so thank you very much. Now, it's been very positive, right from the first press statement that the Honorable Minister issued, giving hints of his intention to grant a gun amnesty. The interactions we've been having on social media and even through community engagements has been positive. And so we know, and we know that it is right. It has come at the right time. And if all of us will support the process and the move, and people will be encouraged to surrender their illicit arms, then just as the Honorable Minister stated, we will not be having funerals instead of laughter for families. And our children will have playgrounds instead of battlegrounds. This is the time for all of us to surrender our illicit firearms, the media to also spread the message and encourage Ghanaians to surrender their illicit firearms or unregistered firearms, because we have only one Ghana. And I always say that possessing firearm is not the solution in itself. There are so many ways to protect oneself. The firearm cannot always be the solution. Sometimes it does more harm than good, because the firearm would leave you bereft of your taking capabilities. I always use the example of what happened at Kaswa, where someone went to the principal of the police or went to the district police station and shot a military officer over land issues. Now the question is that who goes to the principal of the police to commit crime? That tells you how the firearm can influence you and take away your ability to think.
Right.
And I'm sure when it was done, he would have said, he would have regretted what he has done, but it was too late.
Yeah.
So firearms is not the solution in itself. We need to trust in the security apparatus. Yes, to protect us.
And that is the question I'm putting to Mr. Kumado, who has also fortunately joined us. Mr. Kumado, as a fraud and security consultant, we are grateful that you joined us. On the conversation we are having, we just heard that, people having arms could influence their decisions, especially when they get angry. But from your perspective, could it be that there is no trust or less trust in the security apparatus of the country to protect us, for which reason people decide to, acquire these firearms?
There you have.
Hello, Mr. Kumado.
Can you hear?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. So,
wow. I think there's a challenge with your line. We are unable to hear you. There are breaks in the connection. So if you can kindly reposition yourself for us, maybe we can hear you better. No, we'll try and get Mr. Kumado on the line again. But while we do that, let me put my final question to Reverend Anyateso. Rev, finally, you have asked people to, there's a whistleblower protection, that you have also rolled out. Does that mean, for instance, if I know of someone having a gun in my neighborhood, I can come to you and mention it to you so that you can contact the person to come and formally register it? That is, if even it's registered. But what kind of protection do I get so I'm not attacked?
Thank you very much. Now, the minister rightly stated that will be a post-amnesty measure. That is, if people do not willingly surrender their firearms, they do not take advantage of the window of opportunity to surrender their firearms, that is when now the whistleblower and the reward system will kick in.
Okay.
Now, during the amnesty, when it takes effect in 1st of December or on 1st of December, if you know someone who is having an illicit or registered firearm, as a good citizen, what you have to do is to speak to that person, have a conversation with that person, encourage that person to surrender that firearm. If you want to engage us also so that we can communicate to the person, you can always call us on 059-907-0944, and we will also engage the person. 059-907-0944. Beyond this period, period is a period of leniency where the Honorable Minister has declared that from 1st of December to the 15th of January, there will be no interrogations, there will be no arrest, there will be no prosecutions, only surrender. You just walk into any of the designated collection points and you surrender your firearms. If you call us, we can engage those people and ensure that we impress upon them to surrender.
Okay.
But after the 15th, like you said, if you do not surrender your firearm willingly, if you do not take advantage, then it means that you will be considered a criminal with a criminal intent to use that illicit or unregistered firearm to foment trouble and to use those firearms in criminal activities. And the Honorable Minister said that the full rigors of the law will come to bear, uncompromising.
Okay. We definitely are in support of this campaign. We here at Media General and as journalists, we support that we have a free and safe environment. So we are part of this campaign to ensure that people come and register their weapons. And we'll definitely be engaging you more to see how this campaign is going. Thank you so much for your time this evening.
All right. Thank you, too.
And that is Reverend Kalni Anyateso, acting head of comms for communications and media for the National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons. So the conversation is, if you do know or you have a gun yourself, you might want to go and register it now that there is an amnesty, for your own safety and for the safety of your family and your friends and in your community, so we can together ensure that the future is safe for all. This is 3FM 92.7. You're listening to Hot Edition. On to some other stories now. And as Ghana prepares to bid farewell to one of its most influential first ladies, that is Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings, the family has shared the official arrangement for the funeral, which is scheduled for the 28th of November 2025. It is a Friday. At a press briefing, the family head expressed gratitude to the public and outlined plans for the final rites. There is more in this report capturing details of what to expect.
Former First Lady Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings died on the 23rd of October this year. Since her passing, the family, government, and key national institutions have been coordinating arrangements for a final funeral rite. Tributes have poured in from political leaders, traditional authorities, and women's group, highlighting her decades of public service. With preparations now complete, the nation is set to bid her a final farewell at her upcoming state funeral. Oheneba Akwesi Abeye is family head and spoke about plans for the funeral on November 28, 2025.
28th November 2025 year. Anna Ibeja na kwan wo Independence Square in Kranha. Ebesha sie anopa nunsia akopemre bewi. Abusuane de yebesre ne se ye de tumatuntum ye brisi kuntunkrin ene tumatuntum bia na yebefra de ye no. Aye na ye no se de obampani aka dada no. Eye state funeral. Omani nyina na eye. Nti ne yakwakoye no Blaster Square no ho de oso. Agini penyina. Nti obia ye na kwandu agima waye. Wa ka akoma bia no. Bomodia na bra. Nijina busuana nan biu esre mo se aye ade a edomumu no. Ye mpese gidigidi bia beba ni ankotia sebede. Mo se edube se ya crowd no itu bu faso na fe akoye nsem bi ho ye mpensa se atuebo a security for no be che bebi obia mfa kotra na enye fefefe.
Nana Akunedu-Agyeman Rawlings served as First Lady when her husband was both a military ruler and latter democratically elected president. She was known for her pioneering leadership and women's advocacy.
It's like having a household being torn apart. The people in the household are not doing anything about it.
And that report had the voice of Nana Akunedu-Agyeman Rawlings ending it, and certainly one of the very influential women to have steered the affairs of Ghana's political landscape and our quest to ensure women and children are empowered as part of our growth process as a democratic state. We wish her a safe journey or safe passage to the world of the ancestors, and that funeral will be live also on our various networks on the 28th of November 2025. It's a Friday, so you do want to make a date. Away from that, the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, has challenged the University Staff Association and other relevant actors to see the university environment as a critical watchdog for the promotion of higher education and democratic enhancement in society. In a speech read on her behalf by the Chief of Staff of the at the Office of the Vice President, Alex Segbefia, Professor Opoku-Agyeman commended the Africa Coalition of Academic Freedom for its initiative to organize a dialogue to bridge the gap at the sub-regional level. Representatives from about 45 African countries attended the three-day dialogue. It was on the theme, Safeguarding Academic Freedom in Africa, a continental dialogue for collective action. Let's listen to Alex Segbefia, who read a speech on behalf of the Vice President.
I wish to encourage you to focus part of your deliberations on ensuring that leadership development in Africa's public universities to promote academic freedom and democratization of our university system. The lack of a continental body to represent the interests of academics before the African Union and its human rights bodies, such as the African Commission and African Court on Human and People's Rights, constitutes a major gap.
Now, the National Seed Trade Association of Ghana says there's the need to review Ghana's 2013 seed policy to in a view of emerging trends in the agriculture food chain. This came to light at the 6th Ghana Seed Business Forum in Accra. The event was on the theme, Investing the Seed Sector, a Prerequisite to Feed Ghana. President of NASDAQ, Mubarak Saidu Abdullahi, who addressed journalists, said the policy had left significant gaps in seed storage, irrigation and cold chain systems.
This is about the 12 years ago seed policy that we developed. There were a lot of investment gaps. Some of them I have just mentioned, and that is affecting the quality. Beyond the job losses, we are also having our research institutions, we are also having our regulators also going to have an effect on their jobs.
And still on the same subject, Professor Michael Osai, the Director of Biotechnology and Nuclear Agriculture Research at the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission, regretted less than 20% of the crop varieties developed in Ghana are being utilized.
Ghana's seed system is still developing, so we don't have many people who are set up properly to produce these certified seeds in the volumes that the country needs. So researchers have developed several varieties.
Three FM.